everyone. Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades of Over 50. I have a treat for you today. I am going to be interviewing Rebecca Manning. Welcome.
Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so proud to be here.
I'm so excited that we able to make this happen and that we're able to speak and listen. You're going to be so inspired by her story. And before we even get going, this is how we met. I met her daughter in the bathroom. Had a mastermind for coaches. Loved what the daughter was wearing. And I was like, what is it? And then we started talking, and then it just kind of, moved from there. And I'm so glad that
I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to tell you before we started that my daughter said she met you in the bathroom and she was so blown away by you speaking at the summit. And that
okay.
I think she stalked you, probably. If you knew Jessica like I do, she probably stalked you. And she told me, Mom, you will want to be her best friend. You will want to live with her. I told her she needs to, I'm so inspired by her and she reminds me of you. And I was already then so flattered that Jessica thought I was anything like you. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So this was meant to happen. This was meant to happen. And they were born in the same year. I'm like,
yes,
it's happening.
I know you always ask your guests.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm going to say it like my grandson, my 5-year-old grandson would say, I'm about to be 54. When I was younger, I'm like, who does that? Only little kids say, I'm going to be 35. So next week, I will be, a week from Monday, I will be.
Yay! Nice. That's so good to hear. I'm so excited. So let's talk a little bit about you. So I know, well, I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to talk because I don't want to kind of get ahead of myself.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about what you're into.
All right. Well, basically, I mean, if I had to put a pie together, a pyramid, the bottom base is all fitness related. I am all about the fitness. I adore it. I'm a junkie. It's just easy to be fit because I like it. I like everything about it. I like other people to do it. I wake up in the morning, I either swim, bike, run, or all of the above. And then I teach a fitness class. And the people in class are like, that was a really hard class. I'm like, yeah, but I just ran 6 miles. It's not that I'm anything great. I'm just addicted. I love it so much. And I play beach volleyball with my husband, which when we met 35 wonderful years ago, he was my assistant coach in college and a student as well.
Yeah. Love it.
I've been playing beach volleyball ever since, and I coach high school girls volleyball and all of that. But besides the fitness thing, I'm a proud mom of 2. Then they're adults with children of their own, and my daughter is due within a week. Also, she's due on my birthday, so I don't know. We're aware of that. So my father, me, my son, and hopefully my granddaughter will be born on the same day, June 27th. Isn't that really cool?
Wow! Now that's cool.
So I want everyone out there to think good thoughts for June 27th, or a bumpy car ride is happening.
So cool. So tell me what kind of fitness, like in particular?
What I specifically teach is boot camp because I love hits like interval, so everything. And this Zoom thing started right when the pandemic started. I was at a gym. I was at ballets. I was in Long Island for a long time teaching and then LA Fitness, and then went to Miami, and that's where I live now. So I was teaching there for a while. And when the pandemic happened and I couldn't be in the gym anymore, I thought, how am I still going to reach out? Just working out by myself wasn't going to be enough.
Yeah.
So a few of the girls that took my classes had my number, and they called me and said, would you ever do a private? So it started that way with little privates. And then I thought,
was that online or
on Zoom?
Oh, wow.
Immediately, I was able to do the Zoom thing, and it's still maintained. And I said, as we were starting to back, some people were back at the gyms, and they said, would you keep doing this? Because this is great. It's an hour. I don't have to go to the gym. And then we get our little talk before and after. So you get that aspect. And I reach people that are in different states, different countries. I'm able to be able to, So, and it's an intimate group right now. I'm planning on making it larger because I love it. I love it so much. But right now, I have 20 people that not everyone's on at the same time.
Yeah. Would you go, do you think you want to go back, or you want to just keep doing the Zoom?
No, I'm going to keep doing like kickboxing, and I'm able to, all
Oh,
you need
wow.
for my boot camp is a set of weights and a mat. I just incorporated the ball, like the exercise ball, and everyone got one, and and it's easy to do, but I never like the same thing twice. I like different types of fitness, so every class is going to be a little different. I'm doing something different.
And the people, the audience, are they different ages, male, female?
Okay. Yes. I had in the beginning, I had a few guys in there, but it seems they're back to work, and the ones I'm really touching, because now the classes are at 9:00, are people that either have flexible jobs or and they could just break away for a little bit, and then they're with their kids and their kids are at school, things like that. So
wow.
So I can send them. My sister right now can't, but in the summertime she can, because she's in the school system. So I can send a recording to her, and she's doing it in the morning. So I like to well, that's interesting that you're like, I don't think I want to go back. I just want to keep it online. I would hate it because I love being around people so much, but as long as I get my little fix there, I get my fix. I'm not part of groups. I run with a group in the morning, or I swim with a group in the morning, or bike. So
you get that there.
I get that. Yeah.
Wow. I think that's so cool. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the show notes, and you'll, for those listening, because you might be interested, you're listening like, I want to take one of those classes. So I'm going to put that in there so that you can register for a class and take part in it.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. So I know you do marathons. So do you still do them? How many have you done?
I still do them. It's been since the last one I did was Boston, and I've done 18. So, but at Boston, which if you're a marathoner would know, and I heard that you are, you have to qualify. So
Boston is like let me interrupt you, is like the pinnacle of marathons. It's like, it's like the Ivy League of marathons. You have to qualify. And you just can't just say, okay, I'm just going to go in.
I'm just going to do it. Right.
So how many have you done? You said?
I've done 7 Boston marathons. Yeah. And both my kids went to school in Boston, and I think part of it was because we would go up every year, and it's on Monday where you get off.
Everyone gets off, because I used to live in Boston.
They're like, wait, this is cool. You don't have to go to school or work on Monday. Like, this is so great. So I think that's why they went to college there. And then they'd be in college and doing kegs and eggs or whatever they call it. And here I'd be running, and
wow.
So my husband was like, all right, I think enough of the marathon. You're going to be running too much. You're not going to, this is not going to be something you're going to be able to maybe withstand all your life. And he said, why don't you mix it up and do a triathlon? It really was his idea. And I did an Olympic. No, I did a sprint, then I did Olympic, and then a half Iron, and then I did the full Ironman, which is swim, bike, run, but you do it right. And so I don't think that's what he had in mind, really, but I think he knows me now.
Wow, that is so inspiring, though. Wow. And I love that you're still doing it, because sometimes people say, well, you're getting older. You're just still doing it all, and I can tell you enjoy it.
I love it. I'm nothing special other than the fact that it gives me the adrenaline, and I think the people that I train or on my classes see how much I love it, and they know. So, for example, before this interview, we're in South Carolina. We're on our drive up north to see the granddaughter.
Nice. Yes.
And my husband's like, I'm going to go for a run. Let's go for a run. And I'm thinking, I got to do my hair at the shower. But I know how much it gives me. And it's an instant. It's something that goes. So I try to say to people, you might wake up, you might be tired, you have to go to work, all this stuff. Yeah. But afterwards, if you get that feeling every day,
oh my goodness, the feeling.
Yeah. I can see you're so fit, so I can imagine you.
I love that. But I don't run anymore, though, because for me, running, I would probably say maybe I stopped running maybe 3 years ago. I noticed whenever I would run, my left knee would hurt. And it would go away for a little, and I'd do it. And I was like, you know what? I can't keep doing this. And so I started doing fast walking. So I walk really fast.
I suggest that for a lot of people. That's, I think, healthier, to be honest. Other than marathon.
And then weights too. I love weights.
Of course. Especially for women. I mean, we can't just let it, gravity. No, you have to. You have to do it. I don't use heavy weights. People think I have.
I don't either.
For, when I don't at all. It's about repetition. It's just about.
That's what it is, repetition. So for those listening, it's not like you're going to bulk up like a man. You just use, less heavier weights than, and then just the repetition. And if you do it consistently, you'll see that you'll definitely see the results.
Just do it. There's no, and it doesn't have to be hours a day. If somebody said, I don't do anything, well, then 20 minutes a day is probably going to be.
Yeah. In fact, when I start with my clients, I always tell them, and they want to get healthy, I tell them, you know what, start with 10 minutes a day, get consistent with that, and then we'll add more. Because sometimes when you like, okay, I'm going to do 30 minutes and you haven't done what, haven't worked out in a while, it's hard, it's overwhelming. And then you stop. And for me, my goal is to get you to be consistent. And I know everyone can find 10 minutes in their days. I always tell them 10 minutes.
And it's rare that you would only do 10 minutes, right? It's rare that once you start, you're like, oh,
you can do more. Exactly.
More. So that's such good advice. That's really
So I'm like, no, you can do that. So, so tell me, with regards to aging, so, cause I read a lot of magazines and then I see articles, and I find it really interesting where, you see all these different rules, like when you hit 50, you're supposed to do this, or you're not supposed to wear this, or you can only do this. What is your take on all of that?
I love that you say that, because there have been times in the last probably 5 years that I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't wear that. But you know what? I live in Miami now, and I don't know if that's been a change for me in my attitude or not, but I'm just like, hey, I can rock it. I have abs. I have a belly ring. I have a belly ring. My grandson's like, what's that, Lolli? I'm like, oh, well, because I'm in my bikini, I feel like I still can, and if I feel like I still can, and it's okay with my husband, oh, then all good.
I'm with you on that.
I actually took out my belly ring like 2 years ago, and he's like, you can still rock it. You should put it back in. I was like, all right, yes, let's go.
I'm with you on that. And for those listening, please, you decide.
Yeah, don't let somebody else decide for you.
Don't let anyone decide. And I always say that it's how you feel.
Yeah. Oh, your fashion sense is out of control.
Thank you.
Love it. I love it.
Thank you. But I see all these things about, you shouldn't do this I'm like, and then sometimes people will say, well, and because I get a lot of responses about it, and sometimes people will say things like, well, it's because of the way you look. And I tell them, you know what? Listen, I know that there are people that look like me that don't even wear, that are still worried about wearing it because they're concerned about what other people think. And there are people that are heavier than me that do. So it has nothing to do with size, shape, or none of that. It has to do with the inner confidence that you have that you're going to rock it. And that's all. Listen, what people think is none of your business. I'm just saying, just rock it. If you want to, go ahead and do it,
It's obvious when people own it. It's obvious that.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm glad I wanted to kind of touch on that just to get your take on that.
Yeah, so I don't know if there will be a point in time that I'll feel, but I do want like granddaughter at age 11 or 13 to look at me and be like, like what, so that when she gets to be at my stage and says, confidence.
Yeah. And the thing is with that, it flows into other areas of your life where you want to go ahead and do things. I remember speaking with a lady about 3 months ago. She's 51 and she's in medical school.
Oh,
no, I'm just saying, because this is what it's all about. It's like, because if you start with clothing and then you're going to restrict your goals, you're going to restrict other things in your life. Like, no, go ahead and do it.
Very impressed. That to me is very impressive. I do several people going back to school, and that to me way above running a marathon. That's kudos to them for sure.
It's like, I think that's just inspiring on a different level. And all of this that we're really talking about really is because some of you might be listening and maybe just working out is a struggle for you. You're listening to this and you're like, I can do 10 minutes. And that's where it begins.
Yeah. If you don't use it, you lose it. And that's in the mind too. So you say about same thing as fitness. It's like, if you're just going to be stagnant and not feel like you're going to grow wherever it is in your brain and your body, in your relationships, all the goods,
So I want to talk a little bit about something else that you do that I think is like inspiring. And I want all of you to really listen to this. And it has to do with Carrie Griswold. Can you tell us a bit more about
I would
her and your, what's
I would
going on with that?
be glad to. Carrie Gruson is her
Gruson,
last
sorry,
name.
Gruson.
That's okay. Gruson. She has been for 50, going on 50 years, a paraplegic, and her story is epic. So if you can listen to May I Help You, it's a documentary. If you just Google it,
yes,
come up, May I Help You, it's called. Her story in a real nutshell is she was a reporter, and back after the Vietnam War, she reported on a vet that came back from the war. And when she was doing that, he had a flashback, thought she was a Viet Cong, and strangled her and left her for dead. Yes, right there. Your face is exactly my face when I found this out about 6-7 years ago. In one
wow. I did not know that was coming.
Yeah. So in my triathlon meeting, we're all surrounding her and being inspired by the fact that she runs races, she sails, she's a scuba dive enthusiast. She does all these things, but she can't move anything but her hand.
Okay, can you just tell them also how old she is? Because you mentioned how long she's been. Yes.
She's 74. She's 74 years young, because number one, you wouldn't know it. She doesn't look, I mean, I don't know what 74 looks like.
Yes, exactly. I always say that's like, what does 74 look like? But yeah, she just looks great, which is amazing.
She looks
yes.
And you can imagine the inspiration that she brings to others. So and when that happened, they left her for dead. They thought she would die because of the swelling in her brain, and she didn't. And she came along, she became a reporter. She moved to Miami eventually. There's so many things to her story, but I met her in Miami after she'd already been a reporter again. And she went to Harvard. She speaks 4 languages. She's incredible, and inspires me every day. She takes my Zoom classes. So if anyone out there came on to my class, you would see her in one of the little squares, taking her little green weights and doing what she can do. And that's what she says to us at the end. You inspire me, Rebecca. And I'm like, to do what I can do. And I have run with her and swam with her and biked with her a gazillion times. And every Thursday, we would do bridge repeats. And I say she pulls me up the bridge every single time. And I'm thinking, I'm exhausted, one foot up after another. I just do it, because she would much rather be pushing me up that bridge.
Yeah.
But for her, she inspires others to just include people. She wants inclusivity for everybody, not just people in wheelchairs, not just children that can't like you or speak like you or whatever. She's just such an advocate for good, positive thinking and feeling and being. She knows that her life wouldn't be the same without having had that accident. You need to interview her and
we're going to talk about that after the show, because this is just so wow. And so how many times have you raced with her? Because when you race with her, you're pushing her. So how many times have you done that with her?
So I did my first I did the Olympic triathlon. So I swim with her tethered around, like there's around my waist, and she's in a kayak. And then so I swam, then I bike with her attached to my bike. She's in a carrier, looks like a thing.
Yeah.
And then I take the bike off and push her for the run. So I've done the Chicago Marathon, full marathon. I did pushing her, which was, I was thrilled with that time and pushing her. But I felt like I was cheating, because she gives me wings. She just gives me wings.
Wow.
And you just smile. And she does this. Thumbs Up is her group, Thumbs Up International. And she does this whenever you ask her a question, because she rarely ever does.
Wow.
Yes. It's like, you want to go skydiving? Yes. Which I've done twice, and she wants to go skydiving. So I'm trying to figure that out.
Wow.
There are people that will take her. So yeah, I can go on and on about her for sure. She's just somebody you need to have on and inspire them.
I mean, both of you are inspiring to just be able to do that. Because first of all, an opportunity to do that, and you're doing it. I mean, wow. All right, people, listen. I know sometimes, when you hit 50, you kind of think your life is over and it's a death sentence. I'm hoping that what we've talked about today has inspired you in some way, because I'm still like in awe of all of this that I'm listening to. And I really just hope that you realize that you still have a lot more to give. There's still so much more out there for you. And I know society sometimes makes women feel when they hit a certain age that their life no longer matters. But I want to tell you that's not true. I also want to let you know that it's not too late and you're not too old to go after your dreams, not in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for this, Rebecca. I mean,
It's a pleasure.
it was just so
All right,
heartwarming.
so you're gonna move next to me. That's what my daughter said. You would love to be
Yeah.
your neighbor.
Oh, but guess what though? Miami is kind of tempting though.
I have to say, it is pretty awesome. I miss my grandchildren and my children, but it's pretty awesome.
Miami is nice.
Gonna have to come visit at least. Come visit.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, that's a given. That is a given. That's a given. But thank you so much for coming. Thank you for all for listening. And I hope to see you guys next week. Take care. Bye.
If you enjoyed listening to this show, you have to take a look at Flourish, my online global community exclusively for women in their 50s and beyond. We talk about the important issues affecting women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond in a safe and non-judgmental environment. We also provide the tools and resources to help you create your best life on your own terms. It's never too late and you're not too old. Go to the link below to learn more.